Obviously, after my mom passed, I flipped. I changed. Have I got an anxious attachment to somebody that I fall in love with?
Do you think that this attachment could be an attachment of still holding on to what relationship you have with your mom left?
Something was off, and I asked her, "Did you sleep with anyone while you were there?" And she said yes. I took her back all the time, and I gave her everything.
It's almost like you know what you should do and you do it, but then you question yourself and you go back.
I can't carry on.
Do you want to come into touch with your mother and that process?
Maybe I'm scared.
Okay.
Just don't even know where to start. I just got into a position now where I kind of just I've lost who I am. It's just like always avoid an argument, and I just feel now I'm just you know, trying to get myself back, but I also sometimes just don't know how to get myself back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, I completely empathize with you. I know what that can feel like when you lose yourself. When you say you want to get yourself back, who is the you that you want to get back? Tell me a bit more about that guy.
Well, it's I don't know if it always boils down to when I was like a kid.
Mm, hmm.
When I was a kid, I I, I walked around with confidence and intent, and like my anxiety, I think, started creeping up as soon as my mom passed,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it became crippling at some time, like times. I would always be like the life of a party, and then I just lost that. I
Yeah.
completely lost all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I I was quiet,
Mm,
and now I just don't have drive. I I don't know if it's because of her or if
mhm.
it's just because of everything around me in general that I feel that I've gone back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's I just sometimes feel like life is confusing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
understand. I understand. Yeah. And
yeah,
can
yeah.
you can you tell me about your first girlfriend you ever had?
I never really dated because I always, after my mom, I like safeguarded myself. I never
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
like bring anyone in because I'm like no one understands that my life was altered after my mom. My dad at that time, he as soon as my mom passed, he basically said, you're out, you're on your own, So I
Mm,
had to
mm,
figure out life myself. But going back to my first love, yeah, that absolutely crippled me. And I've always thought to myself now, have I got an anxious attachment to these types of people,
mhm,
or to somebody that I fall in love with,
mhm,
because it's a sense of comfort that I'm missing because my
mhm,
mom's not around.
mhm, mhm.
So yeah, that killed me. And then my friend actually said he was like, "Listen, you need to get on the boats. You need to change your life." And he forced me. He paid for my courses and put me into yachting.
Yeah.
And then I became the confident man again. I became someone again.
Okay.
And now I've just gone back down to not finishing my courses, wasting a lot of money. And now I'm
Mm,
just sitting and I feel like I'm just at square one again.
yeah. How did this first relationship end? Why did it end?
I don't know. I just wanted a person that was, that walked calmly with intent. No, if we went out for drinks or something, it's not let's get drunk and make a scene. And
Mm,
I got too tired of it.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was just like, okay, this is too much. And I called her and I said, listen,
Mm,
I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
I need space. She ended up going out to go to these underground parties in hotels and all of this stuff. And I'm having to hear all of this.
Mm,
And I decided, you know what, like I need to come back. I do miss her. And I came back, and we were chatting here and there. And, obviously I wanted it back. And then she ended up sleeping with somebody else.
mm,
So
mm,
I still took her back, wanted to take her back after that,
mhm.
although she's
Yeah.
done this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just got to a stage where it absolutely it ruined me because
Wow. Wow.
I don't know if I'm just soft, like
Mm.
where I just don't know when to say enough is enough. And like,
Yeah.
what are you doing is not right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that that's what falls into maybe this anxious attachment to some
Mhm.
people,
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like no matter how fucked up whatever you've done to me,
Mhm.
like I'll still take you back.
Yeah. Yeah. And with this new partner now, where is it at?
So what happened was there's a dating app for the famous people, and
Mhm.
not everyone can get into it. This is quite a high caliber one.
Mhm.
Anyhow, I'm busy studying, and my friend, two of my friends are sitting next to each other, and he's actually on it. And he took a photo of her profile. So she's obviously putting herself out there.
Mhm.
And, and I messaged her and I said, listen, I've just seen this. I think we're not in the right space. Yeah, I do wish you all the best, blah, 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 blah. And I ended up, taking her back. And then before she left, I asked her, listen, I dropped her at the airport and I said, listen, what are we doing? If you're going to go fuck around, then, like, let's either call it, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and that's fine. And she said to me, no, she doesn't want to do that. And I just kind of like just expected, just a message now and then. I always had to message her and see how she was doing. And it got to a point where she was just no MIA. She was in no contact, and she was blaming, saying there's no data. Yet I would see on her Instagram that she's posting on Instagram, but she can't reply to my WhatsApp message.
Mhm.
So something was off. And then I just called her up when she was like almost done with the trip, because I saw a picture with a whole group of guys, whatnot. And I asked her, did you sleep with anyone while you were there? And she said yes. I just said to her, listen, like, I think we're done, whatever. Like, you need to do your thing. I'm going to do my thing.
Mhm.
And she's like, when you come back home, I'm picking you up from the airport. And then we were seeing each other for a while again. I took her back all the time and I gave her everything. And then she broke up with me in November, and I was wrecked. And then she managed to get herself back in again. So we've just been playing this backwards and forwards game, just all the time. And I'm just trying to build up the confidence now. Where I'm actually seeing her later on today. She's coming here to drop off some stuff, and she wants to have a chat. But I want to like I need to find myself again where I'm just like, enough is enough. Like I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired. I'm
Yeah.
just mentally exhausted.
What I'm hearing is that like you actually got these really good, healthy boundaries and you put them in. So say for example, your first girlfriend was like, you saw that this wasn't the right thing, so you're like, look, this isn't working, and you put the boundary in, like it's not working for me, and you ended it. And but then you went back. And the same
Yeah.
way with this partner now, it's kind of like, hey, look, that healthy boundary, look, this is it. Like cross the line, this isn't the right space, ended it, take it back.
Mm.
So it's almost like what I'm seeing is like there's this man who's got this like really strong, good boundaries, healthy, knows what's good for him, and like also the fact that you're making decisions for yourself, you're traveling, doing your thing, um, doing your courses, like following your path, like those are all good qualities that you've got. But then there's this part, and it's really interesting, and we can try and link it because the one thing that's come up a lot is like the correlation with the loss of your mother. Something happened, which is like um, maybe challenged your confidence, like you said earlier. But it's really interesting because it's almost like you know what you should do and you do it, but then you question yourself and you go back.
Like, I don't know what it is that I just can't get rid of it. Like, so like I held back yesterday saying, because she asked me, oh, do I miss her and everything like that. And like I wanted to message her later on, and say to her, yes, I do, I miss you, like I miss you being next to me. I miss us, making dinner and watching a movie and stuff like that. But I held back from doing it.
Mm.
Like I took everything in me to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
And now I've got it coming here, and it's like a little bit of these like wishes that I could, that we could, sort things out.
yeah.
You
So,
know,
so why would you want to make it work?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
yeah. When you lose yourself, what's your main overall feeling? Is it like confusion? Is it sadness? What is it?
Yeah, it's confusion. It's like I am. I'm like I'm confused. It's
Okay.
like to be honest, it's more like I
Okay.
know that this is not going to work.
Mhm. Yeah. So there's something in this confusion that you're attached to.
Yeah,
So when else did you feel confused in your life with any big events?
I would think as soon as I was just trying to figure out life after my mom passed. Like I had to work as a waiter, slept on friends' couches,
Mm,
bought myself a little city golf, and
yeah.
started studying and trying to do all of that, but I just never knew where I was in the world. I was
Okay.
just getting by. I felt like I didn't deserve it, so it's like I thought, you know these things don't happen to good people. But there was a period of time where I didn't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
where I was
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah. So
So,
do you think that this this attachment to confusion could be like in some way an attachment of still holding on to like what relationship you have with your mom left?
very like a strong possibility. Like I never I never really dealt with it, to
Mm.
be honest, Dan. I
Yeah.
never, I never, I never dealt with it properly. I never, yeah. I mean, sheesh, I never dealt with it properly. To be honest, I, I didn't. I felt like I didn't have time, or I had time, but I just got involved with
Mm.
looking at for sympathy from friends all the time. Like I've been this is the shit thing, and then I think it's not like I used it,
Yeah.
but it was a lot that
Yeah.
how can I put this? I was just like, it became a thing where I was just like I continued or continuously didn't use the sympathy card, but it was there, like my life is fucked, blah blah blah.
Mm.
And
Yeah. Do you think the sympathy
yeah,
card, because also like how old were you?
I was 19.
19, and you had
Yeah.
to look after yourself after that. And you said you're sleeping on friends' couches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
did the sympathy card kind of work as maybe like a survival tactic to you? It's like if someone felt sorry for you, they'd give you more time in their floor room or give you more opportunities, what you needed at the time, like just a young guy
Yeah.
trying to survive.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
now you start to see that that actually worked for you. It's what you needed it for it to work for you. At that time, it was a survival instinct. There's certain ways to deal with things, and like in the midst of confusion after losing your mother, you didn't really have time to deal with it because you had to survive. And then it's like trying your best to survive with what resources you had, living in South Africa as a 19-year-old. It's like that was a legitimate resource that you kind of lived at. But then if that pattern stays, then you start to see that there's a part of you that has this empowered part, this this who you were before that happened, you know, that before that happened, you didn't have to lean on that survival tactic because you had your family and you're growing
Mm.
authentically and naturally. And it seems like you had like some form of a good, stable beginning part of your life because you do have this drive. You do have this like you train a lot, you show up a lot, you have this drive to study, you've got good, healthy boundaries. But then there's this other side. It seems like its survival tactic could be sympathy. So then it's like you start to grow in the world and you start to expand and experience good things. And then it's almost like this old mechanism comes back. Like, in order for me to survive, I need sympathy to kind of prove that I need something to feel for
Yeah.
someone to feel sorry about. And then it's almost like opportunities come when you've got no money because like people feel sorry and you show the sympathy and it's a survival tactic, or you're in a relationship and it's kind of going really bad. You can start to see if that's a tactic that's helped you survive. There could be like an attachment to that tactic, whereas you don't need that anymore. And you can understand to some degree that if there's trouble in your life, you have a sympathy card. You might not use it, but you've got it. It's almost like a protection for you in a way. It's kind of like things might be flowing for you, but it's like if there's still this like conscious wound there of like what you needed to survive. It's like you're going to keep that card in your back pocket the whole time because it's almost like the experience or the trauma that you went through is like my life can change like that, like just how your mom passed away.
Yeah.
You've experienced the brutality and you lost a bit of your innocence in that experience. And being the age that you were in the country that you were with the opportunities that would present, like you had to lean on that card. It's not a bad thing. It's a simple survival tactic that you went into.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that feel when we talk about that for you? Does that resonate at all or?
You know what it does? Because, you know, it's crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. So, this boat that I'm joining,
Mm,
and this is you're 100% right, Dan. It's this boat that I'm joining. He was my old captain from my old boat. And I called him and I said to him, bro, I'm going through the shit. And he's like, bro, you need to get rid of this girl.
mm,
Come, you're coming onto my boat. I'm giving you a hand here. You've got 2 months of work, you
mm,
know? So there's the sympathy card.
mm,
I've put myself in this position. Here I am. I need to get out of here. I need to get back to work. You know, I need to put money in my pocket. I'm running low. Um, you
mm.
know, sympathy card.
Yeah.
Here, I've got you 2 months of work.
Even just this happening the way that it did confirms to you again that when I'm in shit, I get opportunities. To start to bring awareness to them, to start to see, yes, you can have these same opportunities that you're getting without the sympathies that side of things. Because what that does is you start to consciously break the pattern of in the background while things are going well, there's a part of you. This is what we could say is a trauma related to the loss of your mom. There's a part of you that kind of knows deep down that life can change just like that. So you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to survive if shit happens. So then it's like you have to kind of recreate. You have to set up almost like set up a scene to always have a sympathy card. And then you start to look around like, where's this leaked into your life? It's like, when do your friends show up for you the most? When does the opportunities of work show up the best? How do relationships form? Like, is there a pattern that you almost like hit rock bottom and from rock bottom?
100%. It's like 100%. Like if we think about this, another part of a sympathy card is my friend going, "You need to get out of here. I'm paying for your courses." You
Mm,
know, there's another
mm,
sympathy
yeah,
card.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I think I am. I'm attaching that, and now I let myself hit rock bottom again, and now I have to pick myself back up again,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's where I'm just like that's where I'm getting tired because I'm
yeah.
like I need to find consistency in my life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a time in your life. There's always a time when the trauma reveals itself to heal. And that's obviously now. That's where you're at now. This can be the end of that. Like right here, right now in your life, this can be the absolute change of that. When you said it took you 3 years to get over that past girlfriend, took 3 years because you if it took 3 years, then you've got a 3 years sympathy card. And it's almost like you went back into that experience after a part of you had already had a good, healthy boundary and walked away. And you would have
Mm,
walked away, would have been hard. You would have gone through the grieving process naturally. It would have taken not 3 years. But on the other
mm,
side, you wouldn't have had a sympathy card as a survival in your back pocket. That's the unconscious drive, the unconscious 19-year-old that's still living inside in a way. And
mm,
it's not a bad part. It's not anything to be ashamed of, but it's something to really keep an eye on and get to know because that part of yourself is confused. Everything that you're going through now, this confusion, this drainage, it's bringing you back to that experience. It's bringing you back to that experience and to now that you don't need that survival card anymore. As soon as you put that down, that means you don't have to survive anymore. And the reason that you said that you've never really processed your mother's death is because you've been in survival mode since then.
mm.
And
Yeah.
and then it's like, why is the attachment there? It's because if you put the survival card down, you're going to come into touch with the grief. or one of the deeper stage, the one of the deeper stages. Not saying you've not felt grief, you definitely have, but you're going to be going into like a different stage of the grief of the
Yeah.
loss of your mother, and
Yeah.
that's painful, and I'm pretty sure like
That's
even just
scary.
touching on it now, you might even be able to get a feel of that.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I just I just haven't been the same. And it's just like, it's like sometimes you think, yeah, you know who you are, but I'm just that's where this part of my life right now, I'm trying to get it back.
Mm,
I'm trying to face things where for many years I just haven't. I've always been in survival mode all the way up until now.
yeah.
You give your heart to someone because you're so caring and loving.
Mm,
Um, but in the process, it's like I thought I was learning who I was, and yes, maybe I know my morals and I know things about myself, but
mm,
it's just like I'm just trying to get on top, just to push forward, and just know who I am and what I should appreciate about myself,
mm,
and you
mm.
know, don't take shit from people because I
Yeah.
just take it all the time.
Yeah.
So I've got myself into this. I don't know if it's depression or mini depression or if it's, but like there's like I get so happy not being around anyone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so chilled being in my apartment, go
Mm,
to gym, work. That's it.
yeah.
People calling me saying like people are calling me now. What are you doing? It's Friday.
Mm,
I don't care.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think going back to everything right now, it's like I'm trying to figure out who I am again, but I think I need a lot of unpacking of
Yeah.
my past, you know?
Sure. For sure. And what you said, like you want to be on top, but you can't be on top and bottom at the same time,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
the one thing that's standing out for me, like wanting to go catch up with friends and stuff, I can imagine that'll be quite draining. And why this is this is maybe one of the reasons why you like being with yourself is because if you've entered into a survival mode because it was the right thing to do at the time, you wouldn't have survived without it. You know, that's what you had to do at the time. That's why you did it. You're just running on kind of, instincts. But then that pattern that gets developed means that if you're needing sympathy to survive, when you catch up with friends, you might have a mask of like needing to be, you know, it's almost like it would be hard to express yourself as fully joyful because
Correct.
you always have to kind of have this thing like maybe there's something wrong with me just in case I need the sympathy card. You know, it's almost like, and then the identity of like there's something wrong with me, I'm feeling down. It's almost like if I show them I'm doing good, I could lose my survival. This is what the unconscious pattern is kind of working at. So it's almost like the mask that comes with who you are with your friends is maybe someone who's needing support, you know?
Yeah, like, you know what? Like, I'll be honest with you. Uh, I would go out and I would go sit with friends, go have dinner or something like that. Um, and it's like I'm in my own little bubble
Mm.
where I would like look at people and like everyone's chatting or whatever, and it's like me in my head thinking it's like guys don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you sometimes you just want to you want to speak about what you're doing, but you keep it to yourself, and then
Yeah.
it's just like then you become exhausted. You're just like,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me just be on my own. I don't know. I guess that is the sympathy card that I'm playing there sometimes, or reaching out, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that it's just, and this has been going on for years,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for years,
Yeah. Since your mom passed.
yeah, I'm just reaching a stage in my life where I'm just like, I can't carry on,
Good.
it's like
Good.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Good. Do you want to come into touch with your mother and that process?
I would like to, I would.
Why is there a hesitation there?
Maybe I'm scared,
Okay. That's
you know
very, very reasonable. to feel.
Like maybe, yeah, maybe I'm scared about it.
Mhm.
Um, I think I am, I think I've just,
Of course.
you know, I've taken it all on, but I've also avoided it all,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
It's
So,
scary. It's very scary.
so it's, and just don't even know where to start,
Do you want to
So
know where to start?
I'd I'd love to know where to
Yeah.
start, to be
If
honest.
if do you think okay, because it's going to take strength and it's going to take courage, and that's where it starts. So the first thing to do is to put the sympathy card down. And the question is how to put the sympathy card down. And the
Yeah, I was
answer
gonna
is
ask that.
what's the thing that's causing the biggest trouble in your life right now?
The one thing that's been draining me the most well, recently is, this girlfriend,
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
ex.
Exactly. That's the attachment to the sympathy card. So you can
Mm.
go back into this and have another 3 years of sympathy card,
We stop it now.
or you could find that part inside of you, but you're going to come into touch with the pain because you don't need that survival card, and you need her for the survival card. That's why it's scary. You're wanting to come into touch, you have to put the sympathy card. So you have to look at where in my life am I causing the biggest trouble? Where am I so exhausted? I'm just repeating this pattern because the more I repeat that pattern, the more exhausted I am. Then
Mm.
the more exhausted I am, the more people feel sorry for me. And then the more I can pull my sympathy and the more I can get opportunities in this world where it's kind of like you can get opportunities in this world without, because you also want to be on the top, but that's getting
Mm.
opportunities through being on the bottom. There's also opportunities on the top.
Yeah.
They look different, but you can start to notice now that this girl's coming today, and you can probably feel inside of you the tension of like, walking away from that, even if she's like, I really want to make this work, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
another part of you that's kind of like unconsciously like, that's my survival.
Yeah. Shit. Oh.
This is how the process works. It opens up the unconscious, and
Mm.
and now you're confronted with it. And it's hard because when you're confronted with the unconscious, you have to make decisions against your natural instincts, which were survival back in the day. Whereas now it's kind of like you're wanting to make decisions out of alignment, and that
Yeah.
they're kind of not working with each other, if that makes sense.
No, you're 100% right.